Marjorie Taylor Greene is not happy with corporations in this country. Oh, well, yeah, hey, join the club, right? I am also not happy with corporations. Well, now she is mad at them for a different reason, other than, of course, stealing wages, not paying people enough money to live, and cracking down on unions. No. She's mad because some of them say publicly that they support Black Lives Matter. So now she refers to Black Lives Matter as terrorists. Interesting. Now, of course, she's also mad at corporations that do vaccine mandates. So now you would think, as a principled conservative, that she would be fighting against these, what she refers to as corporate communists. Now, what is a corporate communist? What does that even make sense? Like that, what does she even mean by that? Well, back in early August, she explained it in this video.
So I have a term for that. I call it corporate communism. Corporate communism destroys small businesses in America. And I have a very good example from my district. They destroy the small businesses and the corporations gain all the control and they can't be defeated. And they do the bidding of the government like they're doing. Biden's saying, oh, the government's not going to mandate vaccines, but the big corporations are doing it. Corporate communism. They're putting the policy in place through their businesses on their employees and on their customers, like we've seen with the airlines.
Oh, see, look, big corporations, bad at corporate communism. They're communists because it's Wait, what? No, it's actually the opposite. Here's the thing. Government does the bidding of corporations, not the corporations do the bidding of the government. That's literally reversed. The opposite of true. No, it's capitalism. You just explained how capitalism works in this country. But here's the thing. Marjorie Taylor Greene knows that that's how it works, and she is exploiting it, of course, to her benefit. In fact, Business Insider has reported that some of Marjorie Taylor Greene's recent investments include up to $15,000 worth of stock in two corporations, Walt Disney and Visa. And of course, she has other investments as well. Walmart, for example. Now, let me give you some detail about Walt Disney. Walt Disney had actually reached a deal, and this involves vaccines, for example. They had reached a deal at the end of August with the Service Trades Council Union to require all of their unionized employees working at Walt Disney World in Florida to be fully vaccinated against COVID-19 by October 22nd. The move comes nearly a month after Disney mandated that all of its salaried and non-union hourly employees in the U.S. needed to be fully vaccinated against the coronavirus by the end of September. Oh, God, no, they have vaccine mandates. Corporate communism. It's corporate communism. All right, what about Visa? The other company that she has investments in. On July 30th, Chief Executive Officer Al Kelly of Visa Inc. said that Visa is considering requiring employees to get COVID-19 vaccines ahead of asking them to return to offices in the fall. He said, from the beginning of this pandemic, the safety of our employees has been our top objective. Well, that's on vaccines. What about Black Lives Matter? The people that Marjorie Taylor Greene says are terrorists. Here's what Disney said. We stand up for humanity. We stand for solidarity. We stand for justice. Speaking up because Black Lives Matter. You dirty corporate communist. Now, look, to be fair, and to be honest, because that's what we do here, a lot of companies, they say one thing and do a completely different thing. In fact, there was a report back in Salon that back in April that noted that a lot of big corporate donors claim support of Black Lives Matter and of voting rights, but give a ton of money to Republicans who crack down on voting rights and against Black Lives Matter. 4 out of the 5 top corporate donors in Florida, including Disney, contributed more than $230,000 to state legislators behind bills that would restrict mail-in voting and make it a crime to give water or food to voters waiting in long lines. The majority, of course, tend to be in black areas. Why? Because, well, they have set it up to where there are gigantic lines in these areas by removing polling places, and that is a form of voter suppression. And then saying, Well, okay, you can't give food and water to people who are standing in these gigantic lines wanting to vote. And sometimes these lines are 3 to 6 hours long. Now, as a white person living in a small town, rural America, well, I don't have to wait in those lines. But in places that are in big cities, especially the inner city, where they remove polling places, like I said, and there's a lot of people, and there's a lot of heavy Democratic turnout, well, now, look at that. We just having to remove a bunch of polling places, and now there's a gigantic line. Interesting. Interesting. So now, one of the recipients of this campaign donations was Florida State Senator Dennis Baxley, who was the lead sponsor of that bill to criminalize giving food and water to people standing in line. That's Senate Bill 90. Baxley was accused by advocacy groups in 2019 of proudly parroting white supremacist rhetoric by echoing white replacement theory and claiming that Europeans are being replaced by immigrants. So that's who that guy is. And Disney's like, have money, make it rain, make it rain. We believe in Black Lives Matter, everybody. What are you talking about? Baxley was also the only member of the Senate Education Committee to vote against renaming the Florida State University building, named for a segregationist, in 2019. So, of course, you want to point out the hypocrisy that some of these big companies have when it comes to Black Lives Matter. 100% fair. I am totally with you on that. Definitely. But at the same time, that's not corporate communism. It's literally capitalism. I mean, of course, these companies are going to say, oh, no, we support this because they want good PR and they want customers because they can make money. And then, of course, in order to get customers, they need to do some pandering. And at the same time, though, they will then donate to Republicans. Why? Because Republicans will cut their taxes and deregulate their business. And that's how this works. That's how the game is played. And understand that's what the Republican Party works for. That's what Republicans work for. And a lot of Democrats as well. They work for the donors, the donor class. Now for Greene, Business Insider also noted that Greene has a history of purchasing stocks that conflict with her public statements. Oh, would you look at that? It turns out that she's a liar. Huh, interesting. So does this mean she's full of crap? Just like every other Republican and only in it for the money? Why, that's a good question. So now I might actually have believed before that she was a true Republican. That she actually believed a lot of the stuff that she's saying, and maybe she does. But it also shows you that she's willing to compromise on what she says her own principles are in, investing this money in these corporate communists. Or it could just be that she doesn't believe a damn thing that she says, except for making money for herself. Who saw that one coming? Well, I guess we all should have. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and share with your friends. You can subscribe and help out the channel by becoming a patron. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf, or you can become a channel member as well by hitting the join button below.